Hey, hello, welcome everyone to the Magma Clubhouse. I was almost going to say Magma Podcast because that's fresh in my mind. We've got our host Ryan. How are you doing today, Ryan?
Yeah, not too shabby. Thanks. Yourself?
Good, very good. And myself, Solomon. Just maybe a quick audio check before we get started because that's been something that we've wanted to check on. If anybody's here, do Ryan and I sound about the same? One of us too loud? Just let us know.
Yeah, we're just not sure if our volume sort of matches up. So it'd be interesting to hear from you guys what it sounds like.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on the chat. Let me get started first with instructions and stuff to join. For those who haven't joined before, I'm actually going to put this inside of the, see in YouTube, there should be a description or information in the description. I'm also going to drop this here in the chat, as well as some of our rules. So not too many rules here, just a few things we want to make sure that you guys are aware of, just to keep this a safe space. One of them that we've added very recently is not using any of our AI tools, and that won't mean much to most of you, but we do have a we are in beta for this, so we have some Magma members out there that are in beta that we have used those in the past, which is awesome. But in this case, this particular stream, we want to keep focused on core tools. But I feel like we'll be getting into some AI streams eventually, which may or may not be into your interest. But I digress. Moving on from that, the join instructions, let us know if you have any issues in joining. You will need to join the Magma Art Space first, which is there in some of the information. I don't know why it's doubled up. Oh, sorry. I'm just catching up. It sends out to YouTube and to Twitch, which we're streaming on Twitch anyways. Let's jump into the topic. So this one, if you guys have been joining us for the last few streams, we've been just kind of keeping it simple, doing a mural around the Magma sort of logo, the Magma text. This one, we're still keeping the text in there, which I feel like it'd be nice to break away from eventually. But we wanted to try to do a color theme and focus on specifically using these colors. And I don't know, what do you think, Ryan, in terms of like breaking away from, maybe different levels of saturation when it comes to using these particular hues? It's probably fine if we move around a little bit, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just moving around those colors, and those will sort of be the anchor points to bring it all together. But I know I'm going to want to use a little bit of black and change the values a little bit and tweak the saturation for a little bit of what I have planned. So yeah, I think people can have that sort of freedom, but we try and keep to as close to these sort of colors as we can.
Okay. That sounds good to me. Well, then this will be an experiment for all of us to see how this goes. But I can't. I mean, I don't know. I think my brain is so basic. All I could think about was like, well, if we're gonna do a jungle theme, we're gonna do these colors. I started looking at Jungle Book, and I started looking at like Hanna-Barbera stuff, like old stylized cartoons. Got me going.
Nice. Yeah, the palette that I pulled this from was involved a red panda, so I think I'm going to jump in and draw one of those. Before we can actually get started, would you mind adjusting the permissions so that we can create layers?
Oh yes. Sorry guys, I was being a control freak over here, blocking everything out.
We have had some people occasionally jump in on the stream or onto the canvas before the stream and start drawing, but we kind of want to get everyone going at the same time. So we just had to turn off those permissions temporarily.
Yep. Chat is all, show cursor for all. All right. How about now? Everybody able to get in there and make some layers?
Yes. There we go.
What's up, Captain Fang? Looks like you're going to stick around for 10 minutes. Hey, that's cool. If you want to claim your spot, throw some stuff on the canvas, you can jump in later. We keep pushing it out to Discord over the week to get people in here to use it or finish stuff up. So that's always a possibility.
Were you able to carry on with your piece from last week at all during the
I jumped in there and I started doing like a different version, and then I was getting, I don't know, I kind of gave up. I was like, no, moving on. It's not what I wanted.
Yeah, no, I didn't have a chance at all to jump in there. I had every intention of doing so, but yeah, it didn't happen.
Well, maybe this one. we're getting some good practice in every week.
Yeah, definitely. It's that forced time to draw because with everything else going on, easy to just sort of get caught up in other things.
Right.
And today has been an interesting. You're not late. You're perfectly on time. A wizard is never late. He arrives
Nice.
precisely when he means to.
Great ref.
I'll start in a sec. Yeah, it's been an interesting day. It seems there's calamity all around me at the moment. Today, our heating does not seem to be working in this place, and we've come from 32 degrees Celsius down to like 3 degrees Celsius. Bit of snow in the mountains just across the way here, and now our heating decides not to work. So I had an involuntary Wim Hof kind of shower now, really cold. I think I took more breaths in that 120 seconds than I took all day. But yeah, and then my laptop today, my hard drive is making weird grounding noises suddenly, so that's not a good sign. I'm gonna have to figure that out. It doesn't make recording a great recording environment.
Just spinning like crazy.
Yeah, I have to kind of put the laptop to sleep a few times, open it back up, and see if it stops. It seems to have stopped now, like an hour before the stream, which I was an hour early for because I'm just had my times mixed up. Not to say I was actually ready an hour ago, but I was here freaking out an hour ago.
Yeah, I bet that happens a lot with you moving around so often.
Yeah, and all these different time zones, and you got to make sure that obviously your phone time will sort of automatically correct once you put in the SIM card. But then I have to adjust things on my Google Calendar as well, just to so that things are right there. Otherwise, that's going to be all whacked. It gets fun. It gets fun.
It gets fun. Yeah, it keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, that's for sure. We got a whole lot of stuff out of storage. It was interesting to unpack because I kind of forgotten what we had in there. We have to use the color palette. Yeah, just a little reminder for those as you're coming in. We've got a color palette at the bottom. Thought we'd keep things to that, and you can deviate a little bit from it. That's all right. We just kind of want to use these colors as the anchoring colors. But if you want to adjust the saturation and the hues slightly, that's all right.
Yeah. The idea is hopefully we'll have like a great thematic. The ones we've been doing in the past have been awesome because it's very vibrant and different colors. This one, I'm curious to see how this pans out.
Yeah, nice little challenge.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What's holding you back until the summer to join the streams?
Yeah, I was curious about that as well. Okay, let's start drawing. So one of the things I pulled out of storage when we arrived, we had a day and a half wait for our warm clothing to get here to. At least the heating was working then. But one of the things I had in storage was my Intuos Pro. So I haven't used that for about 6 months, and that's what I got in front of me now to see. Yeah, see how that goes. Quite an interesting feeling.
How does it feel so far? A little weird.
A little weird. I've been working on a display for the last while, for the most part. But it's such a nice tablet. Oh, jeez. The pen sensitivity is beautiful. It's right on point. Can't go wrong. But it definitely takes, like, I'm typically really comfortable with the screenless tablet, but just because I haven't used one in a little while, I'm a little bit shaky on it. Okay, let's actually look at my reference and work with this. You think you could throw in some beats there on your side?
Yeah, good. Thank you. I had it in my brain. It's like I'm gonna start music right away. Let's try something different. Intro space. What's that?
Ooh.
Feeding the ducks. Interesting title. Night diving.
Okay.
Let's try that one.
Now, where's my layer? Oh, there we go.
What's up, Mungie Music? League of hello. We have Mungie Man and then Mungie Music.
Oh,
Is that a reference to something, by the way? I was wondering about that last time.
I see you mentioned, Mungie, that you've got a tours Bluetooth. Yeah, and your Bluetooth, is it also like really perfectly smooth, like no difference in latency working with that wirelessly versus wired? Because I find with this 2013 Tours Pro that working wirelessly, it's flawless. Like I hardly notice any sort of difference. But just to be sure, I've got everything plugged in today, even my internet connection. Yesterday I had issues, and I can't get rid of my stuff now. Right, yeah, that makes sense. Low battery changes things. Wait, I'm going to take over the entire canvas again. Maybe not do that.
Yeah, you got to remember to count the sabotages from this one.
Dun, 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 dun. It'd be interesting to hear where everyone is connecting from, actually. Curious to know what part of the world our audience is from.
Yeah, great question. Yeah, give us a shout out. I know we had some people from, was it Brazil last time? I saw a couple Brazil. Somebody was in 2 a.m. time, which I guess would be France. Nice.
France, England, cool. I'm in Georgia at the moment. Got Brazil, nice. Tambem, I don't know where that is, to be honest. I'm not very good with my geography.
Which one of us is Solomon? That would be me.
Haha.
Oh, do we not? Oh, I actually saw that StreamYard offered a way to put information below our cards now. We need to look into that.
I thought that was always there. I guess not. Oh, it's only in the sort of backside of the studios where I can see the name. I thought that was publicly visible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't started drawing yet, so I'm kind of I'm holding off. I'm letting everyone take a space first because the last couple I've started off quite big. So I'm from Peru.
That's very
nice.
Very kind of you.
I'm just masking my hesitation.
Angel V from Peru. Welcome. I spent some time in Peru, about a month. I love it there.
Oh, you were backpacking there. You did your whole
Mm-hmm.
your awesome backpacking trip through South America.
Yeah.
Envious.
Peru was the goal, just to go to Chicama for surfing, which was, man, I could stay there forever.
Was there a nice left wave there?
Oh man, the best. I wish I could. I'll have to show you some pictures of it sometime. It's
yeah,
it's like the most perfect set of waves, like just perfectly offset. They just roll in.
I mean, yeah, I don't really watch much in the way of YouTube shorts and Instagram reels and that kind of thing, but I'm finding myself enjoying it a bit more recently, and there's quite a bit of really cool surfing shorts and stuff that pop up, obviously because I'm double tapping on that. but some like scuba diving and surfing stuff that's popping up a lot in my feed now, and I'm loving it.
That's the best. Yeah.
Labradors, boxers, scuba diving, and surfing. That seems to be like the dominant videos in my theme.
Labradors is great.
So wonderfully clumsy.
All right, some people were having issues getting in here. I'm gonna. I cannot.
That's all right. We always have that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually just catching up on. Have you ever looked at Nazaré in Portugal has the world's biggest wave currently, and people have been flocking there for the last 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
I was just catching up with that. There was a German surfer. I think he was German. It was previously held by the record holder changes every season. There was a woman from Brazil. Garrett McNamara was one of like the original like discoverers of the place and kind of made it because surfers just wouldn't go there. They didn't think it was a surfable wave, and this guy Garrett McNamara made it possible. And then all these professional surfers, big wave surfers, came there and turned it into a thing. But
yeah, I've
anyway,
been seeing some footage from. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, the record holder was it was a little bit of a social media misnomer. People were calling it a 115-foot wave, but it was actually 86 feet. But
but still,
oh, it's crazy. When you look at the picture, and they have this like picturesque. Nazaré has this like. It's kind of become a monument, but it's this lighthouse that overlooks this cliffside and where the break comes in, and it's just this tiny little speck on like the image is just all wave, and then it's just this tiny little person. It's mind blowing.
Amazing. It's so I get so scared just like looking at photos of waves like that. It's just
I know.
Those waves carry so much force in there. Like
I have had enough traumatic experiences from 10 to 15 foot. Where I'm like, never ever would you catch me out there doing that. Those people are
no ways superheroes. Yeah, it's next level stuff. I really admire them for charging that hard. But I'm okay. I'm okay with heck even 8 foot sort of wears me out. I'm not the strongest surfer.
Yeah.
But it's because I hardly ever get out. Like, I don't mean like just out in the way. It's not out of the house. Just to clarify.
Never get out of the house.
Wife doesn't let me out much. No. Yeah, and like I suppose I never build sufficient, just sort of water fitness to deal with that level of wave. But it's amazing to watch. But anxiety kicks in hard when I see other people charging for it. But it's great. That's athleticism.
Monkey Man's throwing out next week's theme should be bodies of water. Just water. I dig it. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Actually, like we can open up a little bit and be like water benders or something, and bring it into sort of Avatar realm or weird water creatures. I dig it. I think we should do it.
Same.
From the jungle to the ocean.
Well, and to be fair, to shout out to Bobby Chu's 90-minute art challenges, that's kind of where I've been wanting this stream to kind of turn into something like that, where we provide different ideas. But they did one on, it was essentially mostly blues, underwater-ish kind of theme, but then not. But kind of sticking to the blue spectrums, and it was just so cool. The complementary colors and the bouncing back and forth with different colors, I thought was so cool. It was just really interesting, and this is a little different than that, but definitely the inspiration.
Yeah, for sure. If you guys haven't seen, just thinking now with jungle, when I was searching on Pinterest just to see what comes up, obviously looking at a lot of illustration stuff. When I type it in, like the results tend to be a lot of illustration things, and obviously a few of Bobby's creatures pop up for that. They're such gorgeous creatures, man. It's so cute.
I know.
Yeah, I definitely want to do his course on scooters on one of these days.
Totally.
So draw your view. Okay. Follow my reference photo here. Now with the mention of Avatar, like just connecting random dots. Who here has watched the new Avatar? I haven't seen it yet, so don't drop any spoilers or anything. But visually, I've seen people like going wild about the visuals of it. Curious to see.
I can't wait for you to see it. It is spectacular, visually, unparalleled. The time spent, extra time spent in them developing that film was well worth it, in my opinion. I won't say anything about story and all that stuff. It's just from a visual standpoint, it's just so cool.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the first one. So yeah, Monkey, I see you there saying you want to watch the first one beforehand. Yeah, definitely do it, because I'm sure even then, like the first one visually, I thought was spectacular, especially that sort of nighttime forest scene, and then these awesome creatures that were designed for it. So I'm sure now with the second film, it's probably such a step up.
I mean, it's funny, like it's subtle and drastic at the same time, like the difference between the quality. The first one holds up so well just because to your point, like the environments and everything was so lush, and compositionally everything was spectacular, and it still is one of the most photorealistic visual effects films to date. And the second one, just particularly because it's in water, I've never seen water done so well. That's what I assume they've spent the most time trying to perfect, is like the interaction with water and the environmental effects. But I'm waiting to see like all the big VFX breakdowns that are gonna probably continue to come out over time.
Yeah, I can't wait. Once I'm in a more settled space, I'm just gonna start building a collection of sort of art of books and the sort of director's cuts or artist editions of various films, and get a nice sort of screen set up for the house. And I'm just gonna binge all the extra content. I mean, I loved it when I was younger, the behind the scenes of Star Wars, for example, and seeing how ILM did things and the emergence of that and solving those kinds of problems. It's fascinating stuff. I'm sure that was the case for a lot of us.
Yeah, I lived on
industry.
Growing up, I lived on behind the scenes. I would buy when Blu-ray started coming out, and you'd get great bonus features and all the featurettes. I had a big art desk in my room, and I would just have on in the background, like I'd watch Star Wars Episode 1 behind the scenes. It was like an hour and a half long. I watched it probably 1,000 times, and then Lord of the Rings, and
So cool. It was Star Wars Episode 1, I think, is the first and only movie, like I would say first, that I can recall, not counting my my baby years. But it's one of the movies I remember actually falling asleep in, but it was not because of the movie. We went to go watch it at the cinema while I was on a field hockey tour, and I was so knackered. And then for whatever reason we decided to go to the cinema, and I just passed out through it. And I hate it because I love Star Wars, and yeah, then I slept through most of it, so I decided to go watch again and see what actually happened in the movie.
That's cool.
I felt kind of bad about it, but what if pen lag doesn't exist? What if pen lag doesn't exist and your hand is just moving slower and choppier than yours? I'm not quite sure I understand what you're experiencing there, Mungie. If you are getting pen lag, do check your stabilizer for your brush settings, because that can cause a bit of lag, especially when there's so many users. I'm digging this tiki mask over here.
Yeah, that came together real fast. That's amazing. And it's already coming in with the hot fire. I like Fang spot. I didn't see that. Nice.
Oh, that's big.
So this is gonna age me, and I don't care. You guys can make fun of me, but it brings me thinking about Jungle Book, and for some reason, it just brought me back to Hanna-Barbera. How much I loved Hanna-Barbera style, like which I guess you'd go back to like Space Ghost, Johnny Quest, the old Godzilla animation.
Quest. Damn.
That was the peak of childhood for me, like when it came to animation, and then the 90s hit, and then it all changed.
Ah, there we go. Okay, now I'm seeing all those characters. Yeah, the Jetsons. Oh man, good times.
The Jetsons, totally.
Did you ever watch Biker Mice from Mars?
Oh, totally.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, the Jetsons were the best. Yeah, so I think people might be experiencing a bit of lag. Is our canvas a little bigger? Was the resolution a little higher than
it's the same as it's been. It's only boosted at the bottom by like a couple hundred pixels to leave space for the
I see.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm noticing with a bigger brush as well. As soon as you up that brush size, then that's normal that you're going to get a bit of lag. So maybe we have to keep things small.
Yeah, I'm yet to experience any real lag, and not just saying that to say it here, but it actually, I've been very impressed with, I guess, my system and how it's been able to handle a lot of this.
Yeah, I feel like I'm hitting my system limits here a lot recently with doing video, and then I think multitasking as well. My inability to keep control of tabs, and browser tabs, and yeah, just trying to deal with that, and then paint, and then screen record. Okay, so maybe I need to actually consider MacBook Pro or something like that can handle multitasking of this degree.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if the brush is misbehaving, just grab the lasso brush. I was watching a video earlier by Ergo Josh about his switch to Mac and why he chose to go from his really nice like Windows desktop setup to Tower and instead go with Mac.
Is it the M1?
Anyway, I think he got the M1, and I think he went for full specs as well because of doing all the videos needed maximum amount of space. But right. he points out in there that, especially maybe relating a little bit more with older folks now, that having a device that just works and you're not going to have any weird things happening is really, really valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, sometimes with these Windows machines, there can be funny quirks, whereas with Mac OS, he just found that like everything just worked smoothly without having to think about it much. That was quite interesting, and I'm really feeling that like things could just work.
Right.
I always have to put up with some little problem.
I feel like I'm endlessly having this conversation with friends who are Mac users. We're like, that's how I feel with the, as long as I get I love a really like high-end Intel processor. I bet I have like the best i9 you could get last year or the year before. Of course, I'm running 2070s for my graphics card, but it still holds up. And if I can get upgraded to I forget what their latest version is, it's already like 3 versions ahead of that now, maybe 4 now.
Yeah.
But it works, but you have to manage so much on the OS side. You've got to go into like, there's all kinds of crazy things you could do with a PC setup in terms of, self-management. But the Mac, you don't have to do that. Which is a huge bonus.
Have you ever tested out any 2-in-1 Intels, the laptops, like the Microsoft Surface, or one I've been looking at today is the Acer Concept D Easel 7. That's what I've been looking at. It seems to be a really good option. A little on the pricey side.
Yeah, that's a saver.
But it looks really nice. And it's got the Wacom EMR pen. Oh, if you can't see layers when you're on a small screen, I'm sorry to change the topic here. Mark, there's to the bottom right of your color wheel, there's a gear icon. When you click that, you'll see the option for 2 columns, and that'll shift your layers into their own individual column. That way you'll be able to see them. It is a known issue with smaller screens, one that's difficult to avoid. Let me know if that solves your issue.
You should be able to see it in the stream. Let me see. Let me make sure that this pops. Just for anybody who needs to see this as we're watching, it's there in the stream. Yeah. 2 columns at the bottom.
Great, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that with working on a tablet as well. Sometimes it's just difficult to see all your brush settings and then your layers on top of it. Oh, okay. Let's see. How can we address this?
Oh, for the to write it. See if this helps.
Maybe just screenshotting the gear icon and 2 columns thing. Plugging that in.
Just typed it in there. Hopefully maybe that'll help. If that doesn't help, let us know. And yeah, we could screenshot it, but screenshot it and post it where?
That's a good question.
I don't
whole canvas.
Yeah. I guess if we had Loom, we could record like a little. We can't paste that in the canvas either. We definitely could use some kind of solution for that in the future, though. Looks like that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe just with putting things in the chat, then people can easily copy and paste that into a translator. And yeah, maybe that helps. Who knows? Maybe with growing translator technology, while we're here busy waffling away, it will translate fairly accurately to people in different parts of the world. I know we have some Japanese users of Magma, and that's obviously quite a tricky one because we're having a totally different script and everything to deal with. And my Japanese, sadly, is nowhere near a level where I can be of much assistance.
But You have
Not
picked
yet.
up a little.
No, I'm learning on Duolingo. So
Got
I
it.
won't say I've really picked up anything, but it's slowly but surely. I'd love
Yeah,
to spend a long.
I don't know if I
Okay.
picked up on that last stream that's what you were saying you're using Duolingo for.
Yeah, I would love to spend some time like living in Japan, not just visiting for a holiday. I actually want to spend some time there and kind of embed myself in the community a bit, involved. And we really like slow traveling, and that's what we've been doing for the last while. And you get like a different sense of a place when you're doing that. You start finding like your preferred places to buy fruit and veg, for example, and even though you can't easily communicate with someone, like you still recognize one another, and there's a sort of relationship that gets built,
Right.
which is quite nice. Yeah. So that's the goal. One of these days I'll find myself living in Japan.
That's super cool. I have heard when I was working at ZBrush, Japan was a big market for us, and I worked with a few guys from Japan that were, focusing on helping grow community there and all that. And of course they spoke English and were very adapted to American culture, at least. But it sounded like if you're going to Japan, you kind of can't get on there without speaking Japanese. They do not speak English there unless it's like maybe a business meeting or something like that. Predominantly the culture is just all Japanese.
Yeah, I think for business especially, it's definitely in your best interest as a foreigner to be able to speak their language, and have some sort of command. Well, not just some kind of command. I think a good command of Japanese will do you well.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of our community are also super into anime and like pick up stuff from watching copious amounts of anime.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt on that one.
Just great.
Speaking of that, what is I keep going back to Hanna-Barbera, but I was thinking about this morning. Like, what does everybody think is of the modern generation the best quality animated series in terms of style and application?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't have much of an answer for that.
Yeah, I don't know if I do either, because there's so many. I mean, I keep thinking about, more recently the Tron did an animated series 10 years back. That was really good. I thought that was a great amalgamation of some 3D and 2D, but stylistically very well executed, but not necessarily pure animation,
Yeah, I don't even know. It was the Star Wars Visions. I think had a mix of interesting things going on in there.
Loved Star Wars Visions. Yeah, great call out.
What else has there been? I haven't got my chat open yet, but if someone else has suggested something. Come on, guys. Surely someone else has got some good animated series to mention there.
Well, what's it called? Not 2049. I keep thinking about what's the Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk, the animated series, actually got a lot of great reviews.
Yes, that did look good. I was thinking about Into the Spider-Verse, but obviously that was a movie. But
I would count it. I'd like to keep that in the mix, because I would say that's probably one of the best things I've seen in recent memory.
Yes. Absolutely. I'm due to watch that again, I think.
I just did with my girlfriend. We did a behind where I'm looking at behind us. I've got my yard and my deck, and I put my usually this is pretty much my weekend. Usually, if we're not going out or going out to dinner, I put the projector on, start a fire, play movies, and just hang out outside for the night. And
nice.
I introduced her to the film, and she hadn't seen it, and she was very skeptical. She's not necessarily into that stuff as much as we are. I was like, I promise you, I won't let you down. You're gonna love this. You think that it's something, but it's so much more.
Brilliant. And is she impressed?
Oh, she was blown away. She was like, she like the next day she ended up falling asleep, but the next day she was like, "Can we finish watching it?" And I was like, and that's usually not the case if it's like the movies
Okay. Wow, I'm amazed she even managed to fall asleep through it.
I know it's a pretty standard thing.
Yeah.
Mark, you're asking if you can use other colors. You can. For this particular one, you got to stick to these colors, but you can deviate slightly away from them. Maybe subtly, as long as it's not too much. We want to try to keep it cohesive in this range, but I'm okay with a little bit. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah. I think a little deviation is perfectly okay. What? I've made a random mark somewhere that's making my transform tool expand much bigger than intended. That's taking up so much space. As I tend to do. As soon as I arrive anywhere, desks get taken over with all my junk, tablets all out. I currently have 3 tablets in front of me. Not all are active.
You're gonna have like I'm imagining when you get older, you're gonna have this like tablet museum of like all the tablets that you've retired.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
I don't even joke, but I have entertained that exact idea.
Love it.
With the old sort of Intuos 1, and I still need to get the Intuos 2. But there are someone contacted me recently about having device. It was a Wacom tablet that came before the Intuos 1. I know there was the Arts 2 before that, also a Wacom device. And yeah, I hadn't seen this one before at all, and they were trying to figure out what date it was made in. I think it was the copyright in the manual was 1991, and I think they'd found this online.
Whoa!
On a
I didn't know they went that far back.
Yeah. I was quite impressed. So yeah, the idea of a tablet museum is definitely something I've thought about, and I want to have I'm going to totally kit out my studio once I get in there, but I want to have a sort of sliding thing with a couple of different tablets set up, or some easy way where I can pull out old tablets and just hook them up and just for fun start playing around with those. I probably have to build a system with some legacy operating systems and hardware just to run some things. Because I suspect my next upgrade I'm going to be on Windows 11, and that's still fine for the Intuos 3. I don't know if the old Intuos 1 will work on there, but I want to still be able to work on that just because it's fun. It's quite different. And it has these soft keys along the top. I don't know if you've seen this at all. Instead of these pressable buttons along the side that most of us are used to on screenless tablets, it's got these soft keys which you have to tap with the pen, not with your finger.
Oh,
which is a bit annoying, unless you got 2 pens and working with it that way. I don't really like having to lift my pen off from where I am to activate something.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know like what the reasoning. I mean, I kind of guess they're trying to get away from the idea of a button and rethink the whole thing, but does anybody?
I think it was before button. That was before the button, the proper express keys came about. So it would have things. It's even got printed on the strip along the top with your sort of copy, paste, save, all those sort of standard functions. Because those tablets tended to be quite big, and maybe your keyboard is a little further away from you, that you still had those. I think even up to about 14 soft keys along the top. So and you could still program them to something else if you wanted to, but it had those common functions built in. So yeah, got a nice old device. I have 2 of them. One's got a serial connection, one's got a USB. I couldn't get the serial one working, which is slightly bigger, with the adapter that I had. I don't know why. I'm not tech savvy enough to figure out why. but I still have it just in case. Maybe I will solve it one of these days.
Yeah, you can't ever get rid of those, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to actually just mount it on the wall as a decorative piece.
Is that what you do? Is put them in like cases and give them like a full label? That sounds awesome.
Maybe even like a sort of exploded view, like I open it up and like lay out the different parts.
Love that.
Fill out the entire wall with it. See, I'm running into last week's problem. Too busy talking, not enough painting.
Did you find your space yet?
Yeah, I've got a space now. I'm just it's a really flat red panda I've got going here. It's just
nice. We got the old crew back. Duplo's back.
Nice.
Nexus, both great pieces. Bendy's back.
And Wins as well.
Yep. Angel V's got a cool, looks like maybe a hummingbird. Of course, Mungie Man. That was assumed. That was very much assumed. we end up talking with you the most.
So Captain Fang, you're on an iPad. Do we have any other users on the iPad? What's the experience like with so many users active on the canvas at one time? I've only used Magma pretty much solo, I think, when I've been on the iPad. So I'm not sure how well it handles things. But I find it's best to have a wireless keyboard connected. Because I like my keyboard shortcuts.
Yeah. On that note, I think about that all the time. Like, is there going to come a time where we're going to be able to not rely? Like, I don't think there's anything more efficient than keyboard shortcuts. Like, even all the things people have tried to do with like custom shortcuts and keys on a tablet and all that, it just never compares to me. I mean, sure, you could get adjusted to it, I guess, if you have a very specific workflow, but it's always so specific to me. Like, I don't know. I feel like Neuralink or haptic feedback or some kind of like thing is going to be able to solve that problem someday. So
haptic feedback is an interesting one that makes me think of the Tourbox, which is I haven't tested it myself, not yet. I have my eyes on it, but it's a really nice controller that's, I think you can program well over 40, if not more, sort of functions into it. I think it's more than 40. But each knob, dial, button, everything's got its own feel to it, and with the Tourbox Elites, you've got the haptic feedback, so you are getting that sort of different tactile feedback when you're using it, especially when you have so many functions that you can program in. I don't think you can do it without that sort of functionality and being able to keep track of things.
And so you have used this?
No, not yet. I've been looking at it for a little while, but just getting my hands on one is the trick when you keep moving around.
Yeah.
But I've seen the likes of Adam Duff and Brad Colbo speak very highly of it. Yeah, so I'm very keen to put that to the test.
Yeah.
But I don't have the most complicated workflow or anything. I tend to keep things pretty simple. It's just a handful of tools and not much switching around. But it's in this weird thing where often the buttons available along the side of a tablet just aren't enough. Just not. So I still have to reach over to the keyboard.
Right. I guess that's my point. Is like you always need something else. It seems like, like there's things like for the mouse, the space mouse is pretty crazy. It's got all kinds of crazy custom presets, which I think that one seems to have been solved, but the hotkeys and all that kind of stuff that associates with different applications is just kind of crazy to me. Overwhelming, I guess.
The space mouse?
Oh yeah, have you heard about this?
Whoa. I'm looking at it now. That's quite something.
Right?
Damn. Interesting. Is this what you're using at the moment?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I've never been able to switch over to it just because I just don't feel like I need it. It hasn't been a massive need for me. Like it's compelling and interesting, but I don't know. I think you got to be into like very specific types of build environments that, if I do and particularly I know a lot of people that do it for 3D, but it's kind of like I'm kind of becoming very old school. Like I'm just so burned. I talk about it all the time. It's burned in my brain when it comes to, using particular hotkeys of being fast and quick. I don't want to deal with the time frame that it'll take to get as fast using something else,
Yeah, that's something to consider. I was not quite to the same level, but I mentioned in one of our past calls that Huion sent me one of the recent tablets, and I think I still haven't had a chance to take it out of the box and test it out yet. And I thought, maybe tonight's stream would be a good opportunity to put it to the test. And then I thought, with everything that's been misbehaving around me today, maybe it's not the best idea. But just that getting comfortable with something new, it can take quite a while. So I thought, okay, let me save it for a time when nobody's watching and I don't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Have to be on stream. But I am quite excited to test it because it's got some similar. It's the Inspiroi Giano. I don't know if anyone here has had a chance to use it at all, but it's got some similarities to the old Intuos 4, which I thoroughly enjoyed. So that compares. I don't know did I mention this in the last stream? It's even got a little thing that tells you when to get up and stretch. Like after 2 hours, like a little notification pops up on the LED screen. Time to stretch them legs.
It works.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I need that.
Monkey was asking us to check out the bottom right corner.
Is there a chat going on?
I'm assuming. I see a great character though.
Yeah. I like this alligator.
Oh.
Very fun. Very fun. Green Sonic, Tiki person.
Oh, I see. He was talking, the little smiley face under the G. That's what we're talking about.
There's another one above the N. Lots of little bits popping up.
He's just hype man for wins.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. Look at that. Look at that. Wow.
And he's the one above the N. Oh, I didn't see that one either. There. Love it. Take this car up in the top right.
We had a series back in when was it? I was probably in junior school, called Viper, but it was I suppose trying to be a modernizing of Knight Rider. It has this like fancy Viper, Dodge Viper, and I had a Micro Machine car that looked similar to it. And at school, I'd always be driving around pretending that this thing would transform into this law enforcement transformer of sorts.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
God, I know. The imagination that came out from playing with toys, it's a lost art.
Did you play with micro machines at all? Like,
Oh,
that's something that's been lost. Yeah.
Oh, micro machines for sure. And the micro machines actually came out with the Transformer line, where like you could buy a jet that actually transforms into a sports car, and like that was like a game changer.
Awesome. Yeah, I passed my micro machines on to a mate of mine to pass on to his son. I had to get real about stashing stuff. I mean, I got so many memories attached to those. I'm like, oh my god, with traveling, I can't hang on to this stuff, man. But I gotta let things go.
Yeah, I remember like it was about heading off to college days. It was so funny. It was like what was represented in Toy Story 3 for Andy when he's still in high school and he's still holding on to all these like old toys and things that he loved as a kid. That was for sure me. I kept all my stuff. Like it was always there. And like I had to figure out what to do with it. And it's like I love that you gave your stuff away to somebody else who would appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because that's the best thing you could do.
You can't just chuck something like that out, like
no. Unfortunately, I kept everything in my dad's basement, and there was a flood maybe 10 years back, and most of that stuff just got obliterated.
Oh, that sucks, man. Oh, I'm sorry.
I had a great Pokemon card collection. I was devastated.
I never got into playing Pokemon as the card game. I got into Yu-Gi-Oh! And I still have all my cards.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was one for me too.
But I thoroughly enjoyed Pokemon on Game Boy.
Oh, I mean, it can't be beat.
The original red and blue. Yeah. I don't think I've played any of the Game Boy games since Sapphire, Ruby, and Emerald. And I think it just got too big, and I just wasn't able to connect with. I wasn't able to connect with the Pokemon. I don't know. The Gen 1s for me were always the best.
Yeah, I didn't even play Sapphire and all that stuff. I played Red and Blue and Yellow, and those are my generations. And my cousin still keeps me up on. He plays all the Switch games. He's always sharing stuff, and it looks amazing. Yeah, Monkey, Disney fan, absolutely. Like, particularly these classics. I mean, I'm a big fan of classic Disney stuff, I think. The most. I still go back and watch, like, I was just watching Bedknobs and Broomsticks the other night. That's a throwback.
That one's over my head. What is that? So watching Broomsticks?
Yeah, you ever seen that one?
Oh.
It's like, I mean, I want to say 60s, maybe 70s.
Was it an animated thing?
It was both. It was very similar to Mary Poppins, where it's live action, but then they would jump into like animated scenes and do like some visual effects numbers.
I see. I mean, I recognize some of the actors. Okay, that is interesting. Yeah, it actually took a little while for Among Us character to appear there. Well, maybe it took me a while to notice. Oh shit. Okay, let's see.
This track isn't bad. I like this one.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
I saw Captain Lang. You're saying you're still Captain Lang. Fang. Jeez. Brain fart.
Captain Lang.
Captain Lag. Jeez. Hopefully, has the lag gotten any better? Is it still kicking up for you?
It's actually so interesting with doing the stream like this, is being able to kind of playtest some things and see how the platform handles this many users doing these sorts of things. I find it quite interesting. Because
Yeah.
normally I'm like, oh yeah, everything works so smoothly, but it's different when you get a whole lot of people on board.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what I wonder is, it's my initial thought is that it's not a server issue. It's there's
Often
other
it's local.
factors. Yeah, because if it's working for some of us, but then not for all of us, then I guess it depends on where we are. Maybe there's a lot to look into.
So who in the stream with us has watched the interview that Solomon did with Udi yesterday? Udi or Udi? What's the correct
Oh yeah,
pronunciation
Udi.
there?
Yeah.
Udi.
Oh, thanks for bringing that up. I was actually going to ask the same thing if anybody checked it out.
Yeah, that was really good. I managed to catch it a little later because we were out having dinner at the time when you were alive. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was
So
surprised
glad.
when you mentioned like how long he had been in the industry and teaching, and he mentioned it was like 20 years. So he's in his 40s, and I was like, what?
I know.
How? You don't
Doesn't
look
look it,
anywhere
right?
near that. Jeez, good genes.
Yeah, and actually, like looking back on that one, for me it's been about 15 now, which
Sure.
I started right in college getting right into it. So technically 20 is not true, but I think what I really was meaning more to say is like it's kind of been my focus since I was about 16. That was my linear focus.
Yeah.
That's where I wanted to be.
Yeah. Sure. Like I said, I've been doing this for the last 35 years now, and as soon as I could hold a crayon.
Came right out of the womb, just ready for action with a Wacom pen in my hand.
Do you have like a distinct moment that you can remember where you're like, yeah, this is what I want to do?
It was around the time when I was watching all those it was literally, I think it was the Star Wars Episode 1 behind the scenes featurette when they're going into some of the early CG recreations of and not everybody's favorite, but I thought was a great experiment at the time was, Jar Jar Binks and all those things were kind of just starting to become possible. and accessible.
Yeah.
And then I think we talked about this in episode 1, the Magma Clubhouse episode 1. that I was doing some of the stuff in high school when I was a sophomore. I was able to go to the community college in my hometown, and there was a guy there that was teaching ZBrush, and he wasn't teaching it, he was just doing it, and he taught me how to use ZBrush and Maya and Unreal Engine and a bunch of stuff, and I was like, that's it, that's what I want to do.
Yes. Nice. Yeah, I don't remember like a distinct moment. Maybe it'll come to me later. Because I've bounced around between things that I wanted to do. I mean, even at one point I was like, yeah, I'm quite keen on getting into like hospitality management. I'm gonna go work in a hotel. And now I think about that possibility. I'm like, I'm not suited for that at all. What was I thinking? I was thinking about software development at one point. And I don't think I realized, because then I was like, what am I going to do? Like, be sitting in front of a computer all day, all night. And I really enjoyed the problem solving aspect of it, but I was like, I don't know if I can see myself doing this. And it didn't occur to me that the programming element involved, even though I'd played around with like really basic versions of this, but the programming involved in producing video games, I hadn't been exposed to that. And maybe if I had, maybe I would have gone that direction, I suppose. Because I had entertained ideas with a friend of mine, like, let's make a video game one day together. Something like Age of Empires, but like StarCraft, or I don't know. We had like weird combination of things that would work together.
Yeah, but I'm totally with you on that. I think about that a lot too. If I had gotten into programming earlier, I mean, art was always an easy in, but I'm actually nowadays I'm really intrigued by language, and I have learned a few, done some scripting. It's helped with a lot of other creative projects, and it helps in design as much as it does with software development. But it's also something that I think back, I'm like, man, if I love, like, career wise, path that I've gone on, technically speaking, wouldn't change it, but if I could, what I've become really interested in later in life is aerospace engineering, particularly building machines and systems and things like that support aerospace. But it's more of just like a fascination. I don't know, I haven't actually done it, so but it's always on my mind.
Very interesting. Not too much. I see Monkey saying no one likes Jar Jar Binks. I think it's the voice, man. I think it's the voice. Knows people a little bit. It's got some cool texture on him though.
All right, I'm gonna I'll be right back. 2 seconds.
Sure. Let's see what you say, Monkey. My start bar it doesn't want to go away. Coded a couple of games. Take those. Good boy. Nice. How's that game coming along? Find the staircase to heaven and defeat God. makes me. My immediate thought now with that was Thor: Love and Thunder, which I finally got to watch a couple of days ago. This thing of the God Killer, which I recall from one of the comics actually, but it was, I think, like a blue elf or something that was stirring up trouble. Nice. Are you doing the art for that as well? Or you got working with a friend on it? Like a hell of a thing. If you haven't checked out Trent Kanuga is worth looking at on YouTube. He worked on Diablo 3 and he's done stuff with League of Legends. With League of Legends, Fortnite. But he's busy making. But he's been involved with the art side of things. He's busy making a game as well. Or he's made one already called Ikeda Scrap Hunter. Pixel art, nice.
I just realized that I had the stream screen zoomed up on the canvas way too close. Sorry for the people that are watching.
I did see someone ask recently, and I got distracted. They were asking whose screen can they see on the stream, and it's I believe it's the second screen we have open.
Yep, and I didn't even pick up on why they were asking that question. That's my bad.
A whole other game about a goose with a flamethrower. I would pay money for that. That sounds like a lot of fun. My wife's got an enamel pin with this goose holding a knife, and it says "Anarchy Reigns" on it, and apparently it's part of a whole series with this goose and holding various weaponry.
And what's it called?
Well, with this pin, it just had "Anarchy Reigns," the text on it, and this goose holding a thing. But I'm seeing here. Oh, sorry. Maybe with you coming back to the seat, you didn't realize what I'm referring to. Mungi's talking about a game, a game idea that they've got about a goose with a flamethrower.
Buy it.
If you give a goose a flamethrower, something's gonna get burnt. Like it.
I don't know why that makes me think of this. I guess I kind of do, but there's a subreddit called Birds with Arms, and it's just people photoshopping and making videos of random things where birds have like human arms and they're doing stuff.
Yes. I've seen this. I saw one recently where two birds, they were jamming Metallica or something. It was fantastic. I love it.
Nice.
I don't know how they're getting the arms on there. Like if it was some sort of specific app or something that had been designed to put arms on birds, or where this whole thing came from.
Good question. My assumption has always been that they're just photoshopping or After Effects or Blender,
Yeah. The things people make time for.
No.
So that's probably good. Darker.
Doing Dog is going crazy.
Demanding another walk to the park.
Boys, spoiled. Take him out every day. Like demands it.
How many users in total?
Sorry, same time.
I don't know what the numbers are at the moment. Do you?
Well, we have on the Magma website. Yeah, jinx indeed. This is publicly listed over 1.5 million.
Wow.
And it's been a while, so I don't actually know what the latest number is, but we have such a massive community.
Okay, 2 of those accounts are mine. Just saying.
Nice.
Need to have a spare.
Of course. We got to get them. We got to get them into Discord. It's all those people out there that are discovering Magma. That's a part of what this stuff is about, is trying to engage with others and bring people into this collaborative environment more.
I think right now our Discord is... Oh, right now our Discord is closed.
It's closed.
No, sorry, on my side. I was trying to just minimize processes with my computer being the way that it has been. I'm curious to see how many members we have there now. And yeah, people from all over. Like, I've seen requests as well for Magma to be translated. Oh yeah, Mangi, definitely sneak your character in there, man. What better time to show such a whole version of your character. Yeah, I saw someone requesting for Magma to be translated into Japanese, actually. So I had some friends that it would make it much easier for them to engage with the platform. Hopefully that's something we can explore down the line.
Absolutely.
Once the team and resources grow, we can do some translations. Oh, this is so cool. Who's that? Yeah, I think that pattern background behind your character, Duplo, looking very cool.
Next is asking
Oh.
what age group.
Good question. It's difficult to answer. I mean, with our Discord community, I think we have the user base there largely is a bit on the younger side. We're still in school, but I don't know about all the other users that we have out there.
Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, I definitely, Discord for sure is probably college and younger. That at least is from our observations, but the Magma community at large is incredibly diverse. A lot of professionals, people working in industry, working for different studios, and we're able to see people creating accounts from different studios. So it is a pretty big, pretty wide range. But it seems like at least from what I've observed in conversations with people, and where the strongest interest lies is with younger people that the old school professional artists are still using their old tools, the Photoshops and the other things. And Magma is kind of a part of this new generation that desires a different kind of creative experience. And I think it's a part of why Magma has the growth that it has. And we're still in development of so many things, and we have so much that we're working to do and to add to this space. But on that note, it's like this community is able to grow just with these core features and this idea of working together in collaboration. So it's really, really cool, really exciting.
Yeah. This is very chaotic.
Oh yeah, by the way, we something I dropped into Discord last night in the actually been trying to make use of our forums for this one. I don't know how effective it is. I think people are still getting used to it, but I'm actually going to drop that here in the chat. Something we wanted feedback from all of you on is, I'm going to put this in the stream chat for anybody who's interested, but we're looking to collect some feedback from you on the experience on using chat. One of the major question is, how do you all feel about keeping chat history forever? Because as of right now, as you all probably know, we're currently, if we were to leave this canvas, this chat history that we have here would be gone.
Yeah. I can definitely see in this sort of more professional environment where having that chat history remain is probably a very good thing.
Right. Yeah, it seems to be, taking up memory and space, of course, that's an aspect you'd have to consider. And some people, one of the comments in Discord was that, you do have to consider too that, some things that people say in terms of collaboration and communication with people that maybe you don't know very well, may be taken offensive, or you may find some stuff that by not keeping the history, it's less of an issue between communication between others. If you have, say, confrontation with people, and I think there's a reason, there's a use case for keeping the history for that reason, or maybe not. But I think it's something that's worth considering, and when you think about that stuff and why it's important to you.
Yeah.
Tupelo, thanks for
Cheers.
joining again. Looks amazing. That pattern is really awesome. I dig that a lot. Yeah, awesome character. Where is the time gone? We're down to about 30 minutes left.
Oh, I'm really feeling like it's taking me a long time these days to get into whatever it is I'm busy.
Same.
Drawing. Actually, the last week, actually, anything I draw, it's just, where's that trash can? I'm just there, to the trash. Off you go.
Trash.
I've got a bunch of portraits that I've been trying to do. Oh, it's been nightmarish. Like, suddenly I've just my drawing ability's gone on holiday. But it happens from time to time.
Indeed.
Gotta fight through it.
Indeed. I mean, would it be better to do some sessions where we just play some music and we don't talk?
I don't know.
I guess the question is, how many of you guys here are listening to us? I mean, I know Mungie Man is. I know a few of us. Bendy replies to some of the things we say. A few others.
They could be there just like screaming internally, like, why won't they just shut up and let us draw?
Yeah, right. Totally.
So we have someone coming to check out our water heater now. So we spot people walking around behind me.
I was gonna say, I was like, are you at a casino right now? I heard like a bell.
Sadly, there was not money coming out of the machine for me.
All right, Kikio's listening too. Yeah, Bendy.
Oh, well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, thanks. That is very good to hear. Mungie Man's the only one though. All right, cool. That's good to hear. Thanks, Bendy.
It's also a cool opportunity for you guys if there's sort of tools you're trying to figure out or questions you have about Magma, how to do something in particular. It's be a good time where we can help you in real time demonstrate something. Yeah. That side needs to be darker.
I keep thinking about the pixel art thing, and I was thinking we definitely need to try it sometime where we make a smaller canvas, and we just go in and just pixel block fill the whole thing.
Interesting.
How fun would that be?
Yeah, I like it. I see Nexus asking about Agi and Magma. So Agi is like the prior iteration. Magma is an evolution of of agi.
Right.
So it's all kind of the same.
If we do that.
Left corner.
Bottom left corner. Oh, wow. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. Yes.
Sneaky.
That's what you're talking about, Blue Boy. Yep. I love it.
There's some woodland among us going on here.
He's the star of the game. Nice.
So cute, and yet wants to go and destroy the gods.
Color makes sense for this. I just can't figure it out.
It's gonna have to be done.
All zeros. Hard at work over there, huh, Ryan?
Yeah. So I'm getting up in the camera here. My focus face.
If you want me to, if I can mute you on your side if you want me to, or I don't know if you can. I forget.
Oh no, I can mute myself.
Okay.
Is it getting a bit distracted? Or is
No,
it
no,
listening
it's
to-
not a big deal. It wasn't too bad. It just sounded like they were dragging some metal around or something.
Yeah, it's testing out the water. What I can do is I will drop the volume of my microphone.
Oops.
Nice little control center here. Thank you, Rode. Okay. That should sound better.
Benny, we've been blocking pasting just to avoid too much sabotage in the canvas and stick to drawing. If you'd like to, I can turn it on real quick if you want to drop something in. Mostly just trying to avoid like pasting too many images and stuff to clutter the canvas so we don't take over for other people to draw. Okay. All right. Yeah, on you, man. No sabotages today. Nice job, everybody.
I just discovered a new thing. I didn't know that we could actually expand the Magma chat up a little bit. Because I've been trying to like scroll through this tiny little window. Actually, make
Oh,
it bigger.
yeah.
That's great. So I see Monkey saying when we hit our Clubhouse 50 days special, we should start a voice call with the whole community. That'd be fun. Yeah, actually, we could do a like stream right into Discord, and people can join a voice call there. I think that could be fun.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I love that.
Celebrate our little milestones with the community. I like it. Okay, I think I can put this back up. Well, good news, the heating is back.
Nice. Your mic's it's louder than it was before.
Okay.
You changed it originally.
Okay. I think I leaned in, that's why I think.
Classic. That was what I was doing in the Udi podcast yesterday. The first 5 minutes, it was really loud. Like, oh, so upset with myself.
That was cool. He had a couple of his, at least one of his students was in the stream as well, listening and asking questions.
Yeah, nice. He has some really great students, and I was trying to praise them as much as possible. The Israeli Animation College, just because they have, I've mentioned that in the podcast. I've given a presentation there at the college before, and was just blown away at just how interested and curious everybody was. I mean, they just wanted to learn. There's a real drive and a desire there that was just so fun to be a part of, and a lot has to do with folks like Udi, who are teachers there, and that community is really cool.
Yeah. What was your presentation about? Do you recall?
I was giving it was a ZBrush presentation on, it was a few things, character design. It's showing off just a lot of technical applications in design, some of the things that you could do to automate an instance geometry, a lot of that stuff. There's a lot of features and things that a lot of people don't know about, because most people think of it as just a digital sculpting program, right? Yeah. Just the layers.
You can. It's difficult to show here right now, but when you're in your own canvas, you can test this out. When you go to your file menu on the top left and go to your drawing settings, turn your background color to transparent, and that'll eliminate the background. It's difficult if you want to try and export just your layer from here. Haven't actually tried that, but you probably have to export as a layered image or as a PSD, and then grab your layer out of that, hide all the others. I think that would be the approach. Did you see you being asked to just turn on the image pasting for a moment?
Oh, whoops. Here. Sure thing. Should be open now.
Yeah, with Magma also aiming to be integrated within studio workflows. It's important to be able to integrate with existing software that people are using, the sort of industry standards like Photoshop. So importing and exporting PSDs was an important component. So yeah, you can do that with Magma. And you can easily drag in a PSD onto your canvas and you're ready to go. It recognizes the layers and everything. There are some limitations with things like layer masks and adjustment layers, that kind of thing. But basic layer modes and stuff like that, it recognizes. Oh, thanks, Monkey. Okay, that makes sense. It was something that Solomon asked about earlier, whether there was two separate people and referencing the Monkey Man and Monkey Music. It's the same person.
Ah, got it. Which is you, Monkey Man. What's the how come there's two of you?
I suppose you've got two browser windows open. This drawing is not going well.
I've been struggling on mine too. It's gonna be forever to just figure out what color I wanted to do this tree, and now I'm trying to figure out how to texture it.
Let's shift this brown. Every other decade. Yeah, keeping to a schedule uploading on YouTube is no joke. It's really difficult.
Oh gosh, yes. For the reason why we're doing so many streams, so we can make that part easy. We don't have to think about it. We just do it live and
go live. You're 14. You're 3 songs done. That's pretty cool. I'll be sure to go and tab here too. Check you out later. Where's my mouse? I fear for any ears that would have to hear my attempts at making music, if ever I chose to. I did karaoke twice. The second time was probably one of my more embarrassing moments. Trying to sing Nirvana. Woo, did not go well.
Dang. Good effort, though. I appreciate the attempt,
The first time I did it was together with a friend, and we sang Puddle of Mud, She Hates Me. It was great fun.
Nice.
But the second time I went solo and did Come As You Are, Nirvana. I didn't know I was capable of such monotony. It was quite something.
That's great. Monkey Man, you want to give us a countdown here? What do we got left?
Chiptune synthesized.
Yeah, I never do karaoke for songs that I like, just because it's impossible to nail them. Because it's usually
that's wise.
Yeah, I always do like Boys to Men or like really crazy.
Maybe one day we'll have to do a Magma Team karaoke live stream. Get everyone on you.
Let's do it. Got our Friday team hangout sessions that we do internally, and that'd be a great one. Just karaoke. Remote karaoke.
Yeah. Oh God, that must be so terrible. Yeah. Smart move, Monkey Man. Yeah, now I'm definitely feeling that lag people have been bringing up. It's
Oh, yeah?
starting to happen. That's my machine. Let me close one browser window of a million tabs. Yeah, that'd be funny, getting the dev team out in front with a microphone or something.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, I'm sure they wouldn't like that at all.
Truth be told, I really hate it myself, but
Yeah.
it usually takes quite a bit of debauchery to go down for me to even be in the mood for it.
Sure. Yeah, actually, we haven't met in person. We only met online this year. Actually, in the last few months.
This is
But
true.
hopefully, one of these days we'll get the entire Magma team together. I've only met one of the Magma team so far, Wojtek, who you might have seen on Discord as well, and often answers some of the questions that pop up with the feature requests and such. Yeah, so him and I were both in Bangkok during the last month. He's currently there with his wife, and yeah, while we were there, had a chance to connect, talk shop, and just catch up. It's cool to get to know one of the members of the team IRL.
Right. I know. I look forward to that as well. We're actually working on planning a team event here soon to meet up, hopefully.
Be a lot of fun.
It is
I think
crazy.
maybe Lightbox last year was maybe when the largest number of Magma people were together in one space.
Yeah.
It's so cool that we have these sorts of tools to be able to connect with colleagues on the other side of the world and build these friendships. Obviously, it's not the same as connecting with people in person, but it's still awesome that you can do this so easily now.
That's what I was going to say too. It's pretty amazing. Like, we can connect and get along and hang out and just talk about stuff, and it makes that part so much easier. I mean, if we ever did meet up, it would just, to me, it feels, I've been doing this long enough too, where it wouldn't feel very different. Like when you meeting in person after knowing somebody for years through Skype. For me, it's like back in the day it was Skype a lot of the time, or whatever, now it's Discord and other places.
Yeah. Countdown.
I saw that.
Cool. What is it? I'm trying to read. Is it? It's Toby. Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm feeling that lag as well, but definitely pop in again. Maybe on another day when there's fewer people on the canvas, see if that helps, and you can keep working on your piece.
Yeah, please do, for sure. And next time, if we need to start getting into doing different canvases, if that helps, we can definitely look into that. Just don't want to exclude people or leave them on their own canvas. That's the only thing.
We could see what happens. Maybe it's not so bad when we, if we shift into a new canvas on the sequence. Maybe that solves it.
Yeah,
Haven't tried it. Could work.
Whoa. Oh, that makes sense. Unlocking brushes. Yes, we definitely should be doing that. That's a great call out. I'm down for that. Next stream, count on it.
Oh, that's actually a good idea. It gives people a chance to play around to see what the other brushes are like. I suppose we can actually say that we are looking at expanding the range. I just can't give any specifics.
Let's do a quick recap. I haven't looked at the canvas in a while.
Yeah, me too. Oh, we got a forest going on there. Mangy tree. That Mowgli sliding down the tree.
Yeah. That's my best one yet.
Oh, this bear is nuts.
I dig what's going on with that G angel. That's cool.
Whoa.
The llama. Do you see the brick llama? That's amazing.
The brick llama.
It's to the left of Wynn's piece, next to the sun.
Oh yeah, I was looking up. Awesome. Whoops. Very nice. That's actually a really cool stylization of it. Just even the little triangular shapes inside the bricks.
Yeah,
it's
great
really
use of the lasso with the
texture.
patterns. Wynn's is looking amazing. The gator, I really dig that gator.
With the specks as well. The little leaves on the glasses, that's so cool. Love it.
I didn't see that. Nice.
Ah, nice. Monkey Man, actually, maybe submit a feature request with that to be able to customize text a little bit in the chat boxes if you haven't already. I think I saw something similar mentioned a little while back, but that's a good one.
Yeah, totally. Nexus piece up in the top left, that's amazing. Really dig the way you texture. That is super cool.
Wow.
Right
Who did this worshipping Among Us sculpture above the J? That's so cool.
I dig it. That's super cool, man. I appreciate that constant theme here. It's great. more right.
Maybe above the N, rightmost. Okay. We're looking at.
Yeah, put your cursor over it, Mungie. Or are you trying to make us find it?
Is it the 2? Wasn't that a 3 just now?
The countdown. Okay, got it. I feel like I'm getting so old I can't keep up. I dig Bendy's thing on the U is really cool. I just noticed that one. Like the broken TV.
Oh, nice. Sure.
Yeah, great work,
Such
guys.
fun.
This is cool. Ryan, you actually whipped that up pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm struggling to get into like just sharpening areas. It's all quite messy, and yeah, I just need to switch brush sizes a little bit.
Yeah.
Now I'll like I've said in every other stream, I'll come back to it later in the week and build on it. But if I'm honest with myself, I don't think I'm going to have the time.
Well, maybe this one, maybe we can keep this theme going and pick up where we left off last week. I don't know. What do you guys think? Or would you rather move on to something new?
There's a lot of space on the canvas still to fill up.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
Oh, I just caught the second canvas going over there. Did you see that?
No. So my start bar, for whatever reason, is just staying up. Whoa. Sneaky coming in there with a second canvas. Jeez.
Well, killer job, everyone. This is great. Santiago, I just noticed Santiago's piece too. That's super cool. That little wooded area. Nice landscape. Oh, Marta just joined. What's up, Marta?
Huh?
Well, I actually have to jump into some meetings and some work stuff, so it's time to call it. Thanks everybody for these great contributions, and thanks for all the great conversation. Good catching up with you, Ryan.
Yeah, likewise, and thank you everyone for joining. This is really a lot of fun having you guys here each week, adding your mark to the canvas. Looking forward to next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Join us on Discord if you're watching and you haven't joined already. There is a Magma Clubhouse channel that is dedicated to this. We'll be dropping more information on the updates for the canvas and what's coming next week. So thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you all next time. Cheers, everybody.
Ciao. Wonderful. How was that?